proof the technology? So in the event that power goes out, communications go out, how do you ensure you can still receive and transmit valuable information?
So first of all, the HazardHunterPH was designed before a disaster happens. So we want to be strategic to influence policies and as well as decision making before events actually happen. So before typhoons happen, so that people could build their houses or their businesses, even government projects on safe grounds. But to answer your question, we have actually deployed the system in the cloud. And then we also have on-prem facilities. So we have databases in several locations and servers as well.
Okay, Romy? Microphone.
Sorry. Thank you very much for that fantastic presentation. I'm just wondering whether your government has got behind you and supporting this program ongoing, because it seems to me that it would be in their interest to do so to reduce hazards for your country.
Yeah, this is actually a government-initiated project. So my organization is a government organization, and we've considered this as a governance platform as well as an ICT platform, because through HazardHunterPH and developing as well the system and the database to support the application, we have encouraged other government agencies to populate the database, and they have seen this as a public good. So yeah, the sustainability of the effort is actually ensured, because during the past administration, the president of the Philippines himself approved and gave a directive for all government agencies to utilize the system. And then the present administration, we've also presented him this initiative and as well as the platform. So there are a lot of government efforts now banking on the HazardHunterPH.
Sounds like a very good export product you've got there. Thank you.
Okay, Lars.
Yes, thanks a lot for a very good presentation, and I think this tool is very useful, and it should probably be available all over the world, because there are different risks and hazards all around that could be a little bit different, of course, but anyhow. But one thing that I think is very interesting is to know, do you have some statistics, some data on hazards situation that have been prevented or avoided thanks to this new technology? If you have seen some situation that people had get better information, make smarter decision, being able to work proactive because of the information transferred by this tool.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of feedback from people, but unfortunately we haven't written those accounts. But since we're getting information from banks, they are actually avoiding areas that are hazard prone, and they are mitigating some of the buildings that are actually near active faults, because those areas would really be prone to extreme or large earthquakes and ground shaking as well. So I think in that aspect, we have met the target. Local government units are integrating the results of HazardHunterPH in their development plans, and as well as in their disaster risk reduction and management plans, including climate change adaptation plans. So in that aspect, we need to have some more years to really test and see the result, because as what I mentioned, this is really a strategic approach to minimizing losses and damages caused by natural hazards.
Okay, Trish.
Thank you so much. Am I allowed to clarify something that was in the written presentation, which was in how it relates maybe to the patent. In 2019, it looks like you worked with the team in Japan. Can you maybe, was that right? And can you maybe speak a little bit more on that? Was the idea or the software sort of developed from them or with them, or you just learned from them and then developed it separately?
Now we learned from them. One of the developers of a Japanese organization, it's also public, we're partnering with them, introduced to us a kind of technology, the fault finder. But the fault finder is just for evaluating areas with respect to active faults. However, through the years, we have realized that active faults would not suffice if we really want to have a holistic approach to disaster risk reduction. That is why we have encouraged other agencies, other government agencies to join forces and unite our efforts to build the HazardHunterPH. And so we have transcended beyond just looking at earthquakes and volcanic hazards to also include hydrometeorologic hazards, which is a mandate of another government agencies, and as well as climate change adaptations. So this is a whole of government approach to taking seriously our mandate for disaster risk reduction and management.
Thank you.
I've probably got one last question, which was asked by the jury last time, is in terms of the coverage of the tool, because the Philippines is huge, you've got many different islands. So, you know, what is the coverage in terms of the quality of the data across the whole of the Philippines? Does it vary? Are you getting more data? Can you give some overview of that, please?
Yeah, if we go to any part in the Philippines, a hazard assessment report will be generated by the system. So meaning every point in the map within the Philippines, you would be able to get an assessment. Because this effort is not just done by one agency, but all of the government agencies involved in hazards mapping. And by that, we can also ensure the accuracy of the data, because these are peer-reviewed data, and the government agencies mandated to actually delineate the hazards are accountable.
Okay, and have other countries expressed an interest in this?
Pardon?
Have other countries expressed an interest in this technology?
Yes, when we presented this to the United Nations, other nations approached us, and representative from other nations approached us and inquired how we were able to actually do this HazardHunterPH, because the main problem with other countries would be collating data, because data are in silos, and especially scientific organizations would want to just keep the data for themselves and publish papers for themselves. But here in the Philippines, we have gone beyond that, and we have actually considered hazard assessment as a public good. So yeah, in the United Nations and in USGS, some of the volcano experts also want the HazardHunterPH, because that was their plan before, to also have risk assessments and to locate the schools and health facilities and even residences with respect to the different hazards caused by volcanic eruptions. But we have more than volcanic eruptions in the system.